What is up, YouTube? It's your girl Rochelle, and I'm back with another YouTube video. Thank y'all for tuning in, liking, sharing, and subscribing. You guys are the bomb.com. Now, in today's video, I want to share with you guys how it's going for us for the month of August so far. This is kind of like my mid-month check-in, just to check the vibes, see how it's going in our progress goals. If that's something you want to see, then definitely stick around. So, we're halfway through the month. Let's talk about what happened in the first week of August. That week, we were able to bring in a total of $7,910 in income. My husband's W-2 hit, which was $3,937. I had Sisterlock's income totaling $2,255. Good week. And then our rental property brought in $1,713, and then we had a miscellaneous deposit of $5, so $7,910. Here is how we spent it. We sent $6,252 to the HELOC. That was 79% of our income. Very good. Our goal is to send as much money as possible to the HELOC starting this month and to start the velocity banking method. We only have one more high interest credit card that we need to knock out in the next couple of months. And so to do that, we need to send as much money as possible to the HELOC to show ourselves that we are spending and doing this thing responsibly. Spending, we sent $950 to this category. Let's see what spending was on. I know 200 of it was Micah's money. He gets $200 every time he gets paid. I paid myself $250. It's been a long time since I just gave myself some play money, y'all. So I am very excited about that. Then our usual $500 that hits our joint spend bank account for all of our household spending, food, groceries, eating out, all that, toiletries, household, kid expenses, kid fund, all that type of stuff, light bulbs, boom. Next category is tax. We set aside $360 for taxes for my Sisterlock's business. $337 went to the rental property to pay the property manager and to just put a little buffer in our rental property bank account because, y'all, I did pay the rental property credit card last month. It was on auto pay. It was for like $20 and I did not have money in there. And so I got charged an overdraft fee. Hot. And then debt, $11. That was interest on the credit card that we paid off in full last month in July. And that's why you always got to double back, y'all, just to make sure that that card stays zeroed out. So they made $11 more off of us. So that is how we spent our income for week one. 79% to the HELOC, 12% to spending, 4% to tax, 4% to the rental property, and just under 1% to debt. So I will take it. Remember, our goal is to send at least $8,500 to the HELOC this month because that is how much we did in advance for at the beginning of August. So I just want to make sure that we are being responsible with this money and, really just sending all of that money back to the HELOC. Week two, we brought in $2,502. That was my Sisterlock's income. I have a new weekly goal starting in 2026 to bring in at least $2,500 of Sisterlock's income. If I don't meet that goal, that's fine, but I do have a new monthly goal of $10,000 for my Sisterlock / Microlock / Interlocks business. And so I want to make sure that I'm tracking it closely because honestly, y'all, I didn't have a goal. I did not know how far I wanted to go with this hair thing, with this lock thing. And I want to make sure that I am, growing my business, scaling my business, but not always just behind the chair. I have some other things that I'm doing. And so it's just about a part of being self-employed that's always rolling around in the back of my head. $2,500. Okay, so for that week, we sent $2,040 to the HELOC, $405 to taxes, $43 to Sisterlock's bills, and $14 to Eva because we owed her some money, so we had to pay her back. So that means that 81% of our income went to the HELOC, 16% to taxes, 2% to sister locks, and less than 1% to EVA. So if you add all of this up, y'all, what that means is so far in the month of August, we have brought in a total of $10,412. We have sent $8,292 to the HELOC, back to the HELOC. Remember, the goal is $8,500, so we have spent $950, tax $765, debt $11, and EVA $14. It's a surprise cash stuffing. Okay, so I am low wallet-wise, and so let's check in on my savings cash envelope. This is money that I just collect over time. Friends know that I love getting paid in cash, and so that is what I love about my circle. So let me see here. I know some of this is money that I pulled out of the bank in July and this month in August to cover our car insurance. So we got to make sure we stuff car insurance for sure. Times two. Okay, so let's see how much we have. We have 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 220, 240, 260, 280, 300, 320, 340, 360, 380, 400, 420, 440, 460, 480, 500. 520, 540, 560, 580, 600, 620, 40, 60, 80, 700, 20, 40, 60, 80, 800, 820, 840, 860. Yes, I'm that type of girl, y'all. Y'all knew this. I need my money facing up the same way. Okay. And I know I've got some money, just like a couple dollars, just like a couple dollars left here in my wallet. Oops, I hit the camera. Okay. So just a few ones left. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. I'll deal with that in a minute. But first, let's jump into these categories, y'all. So this is my essentials binder. I want to stuff this bad boy. Okay, so 220 times 2 is $440. We need to stuff that first. Car insurance, yes. So it will go in here. This is much needed. So let's do 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300. 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, and we said 440. So, boom. It is so, and okay, so I know we are deviating from the velocity banking method. Let me tell you what I realized. I miss cash stuffing certain categories. And so sometimes you have to just make your budgeting system work for you. I will keep doing the velocity banking for all of our regular stuff. But for some reason, when that car insurance bill hits every 6 months, I'm never prepared for it. And so this time I really want to go back to cash, because the only time I ever felt prepared is when I used cash. So I will be stuffing my phone sinking fund and my car insurance sinking fund, no matter what, in cash every month. And that's for 2 reasons. My husband gets a stipend every time he gets paid just for his phone use. And so I want to make sure that we are responsible with that money, because we could be saving that money over time to cover our next iPhone purchase. So we gotta put some respect on the shmoney. You know what I mean? And so this is my version of that. Okay, so far for incidentals with the car insurance and all that good stuff, anything related to the car, we have saved 100. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, that was some crisp ones. 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, 80, 500, 20, 40, 60, 80, 600, 660, y'all. See, this is why. And we'll do, of course, we'll get some larger bills if we need to, because I'm not stressing out my cute cash envelopes from Conversation. No, ma'am. No, sir. But that is what feel free to do what works for you. I know it seems like extra work and, going to the bank to pull money out. But if you pull that money out of the bank, you can't spend it frivolously with a debit card. So that's that. That's what works for me. Or use a credit card. It alleviates all of that for me. So for the phone, I also want to do a good amount to the phone. So let's do, let me see, 20, 40, 60, $80, 20, 40, 60, 80. Let's do times 2 months for this too. Not even times 2 months. He gets this every 2 weeks. So this will just be for August. And again, it's time to stack this dough because our phones are starting to glitch every once in a while. And it's you can kind of predict the life of your phone. I am pumped if I can get my phone to last for 3 or 4 years. And we are at year 3.5 right now, I think. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 220, 240. $240, y'all, added to the phone sinking fund. That is all I'm worried about in this category. Now let's talk about the savings. I have no idea if I'm in frame because I'm sitting down. I am literally working from a different angle than I usually do. So we're just gonna hope for the best and forget the rest. Okay, now, can you pass me my savings challenge book, Eva? Can you pass me my savings challenge book? It would be by that, you see those books standing up a little higher to the left, right there. You passed it.
What?
Yeah, girl.
This one?
One of those is a savings challenge book. We are focused on saving for our monthly savings challenge because that is the only one that I am focused on. Not that one, another one. Let me see that one. Let me see if this is it. Let me see. Let's see together. We're going to find. Yes, I feel like this is it. This is it, boo. Thank you so much. So, did we finish July is my first question. It seems like I still needed $25, $50, $75, $100, and $25. So let's see how much money we have left. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. I think I'm going to do $125 plus these little 5 crunchy, dusty ones, y'all. Again, this is money that I did not pull out of the bank. This is just money that adds up over time. So we have a $100 placeholder to represent money we have saved in the bank for this category. And then what else we got? So 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240, 260, 280, 300, 320, 335, 340. I am determined to save for the rest of the year for at least this category, y'all. At least. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Okay. And then I'm not really worried about August. If I get more cash, I will just try to do August because it's $400 and I really need to stuff my wallet with this money. So sometimes this is the reality of how I choose categories. In my head, I have all these grand plans, but then reality hits and I need to make sure that I have cash for everyday spending. So I'm not reaching for no credit card. So yeah, that's what I do. And we're using all my products, of course, my saving challenge book. Check it out. This one, we're trying to save 10,000. It's not looking good this year, but we rise, still we rise. This is my everyday wallet that I carry. And this leaves us, y'all, with 3 categories to stuff: 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, $140. So we have spending, eating out, and personal money. I always give myself 20 bucks. Never know, might see something, and you just never ever know. Then spending money, let's go to eating out next. I usually put either $50 or $100 in that. So let's do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Let's do 100. Let's be real. Let's be real. We buy smoothies. We go to like a company, one of my favorite ladies on the island. She makes smoothies like from fresh fruit. No added nothing. And when I can't meal prep, pay for meal prep, or just survive, and make my own juices and stuff and smoothies, we buy them from her. And that leaves $20 for miscellaneous spending. Eva and I do need purses. We were talking about that over the weekend. Eva especially. Like, I can survive, but Eva definitely needs a purse. So she has her own spending money, but I want to be able to contribute just in case. You know, we're not talking nothing crazy. Just like an off the rack, maybe like a Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx situation. But there we go. Cash has been stuffed. So that is how our August is going so far. Let me know in the comments what you are doing to make your money work for you in the month of August. And I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, you know what it is. Peace, love, and budget.